Genesis chapter 6, verse 17, the Bible says, behold, even I, do bring a flood of water upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. From under the heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. So God is having this conversation with Noah. He said, listen, Noah, I'm going to kill everybody. I'm going to get everybody out of here. Okay. Now, God is now going to give Noah a plan. He said, Noah, you are the only man who's going to escape. Your family can come with you, but you are the man. So God gives Noah an amazing plan, a detailed plan. Noah was to build an ark, a big boat-like structure. We've seen the artist's portrayal of the ark. Looks like a boat with a roof on it. Have you seen it before? Yes. If you read through Genesis there and you read some of the description, the artists have tried to portray that. You're going to build a boat, and I want you to build that boat up on the mountaintop, somewhere high up on the mountaintop up there. You go up and you build that boat up there. Now, I grew up on a little island in the Caribbean, and some of the fishermen will build their own boats there. I have a little bit of a sense of what happens when a boat gets built. Nobody builds a boat on land in the mountain. Everyone who I've seen building boats, they build a boat very close to the water. Because once you finish building the boat, the problem is you got to get it into the water. Noah goes up to a mountain. Now God is giving some instructions. Now watch this, my friend. Sometimes God gives instructions. You watch this. God's instructions sometimes don't make sense. Don't make sense to us humanly. And some time ago, I think we were talking here in prayer meeting. We were talking, or I think it was prayer meeting, or maybe the Sabbath afternoon Bible class, and I was telling you that faith in God gets us into a space where we cannot experience things with our senses, meaning they don't make sense. Faith is not about making sense. And we like to say that fact is about sense. Okay, we can prove that Brother Valerius is sitting there because what? We can see him, we can touch him. We are using our senses, the sight, or touch, or taste. That's how we prove things. That's how we say arrive at a fact. He is sitting there because I can touch him, or I can see him. Faith operates in a realm outside of that. You may not be able to see it, touch it, taste it, but it is as real because God says it. So some things God says don't make sense. Often you see people and they're on a mission and they believe that God has given them an assignment and it looked like they're crazy. Huh? Your workmates may think you're crazy because you're eating all of these strange vegetables and you wouldn't eat a certain kind of meat. And they may think that you're crazy. No. Because God, when he gives instructions, often it does not make sense. So God says to Noah, go up on this mountain. Build this boat. Build this boat. God gives him specific instructions what kind of wood to use. He said, pitch that thing, use pitch that boat inside and outside. Because I'm going to rain a whole lot of water. So you need double security. Pitch it inside, pitch it outside. Build some rooms in it, because I want not only your family in that boat, but I want a sample of all the species, the animal world. The length of the ark should be 300 cubits long. I looked that up. This whole measurement thing in cubits, we don't use that today. But a cubit was about the length of the arm from the elbow to the end of the middle finger. A cubit. Usually, it's about 18 or so inches. So you pull your calculator out and you begin to do the math. The breadth of that boat was supposed to be 50 cubits. The height, 30 cubits. Height about 45 feet. Width about 75 feet. Length about 450 feet. So the experts tell us that the ark was about 1.5 times the length of a football field. The width of the ark was about quarter the length of a football field. The height of the ark was about 4 stories high. And Noah was supposed to do that on top of a mountain, and he was supposed to build that thing, I imagine, with no power tools. He had to do that by hand. Didn't make quite a whole lot of sense. The ark was certainly big enough to do the job that God had to do. If the ark carried 2 of every species of animals, there would have been in the ark about 35,000 pairs of animals. 35,000 pairs. Impossible task, you may ask. Noah and his family may have thought to themselves, they could build the ark, but what about these animals? How are they going to get the animals in there? But that was for God to do. And God gave Noah 120 years to get the job done. It wouldn't be easy, but it could be done. Could be done. But then God asked the animals to come in. Noah was no zoologist. Noah, do you think he had any idea of how he would take care of all of these animals? But God had his plan. God had his plan. And he picked Noah out of everybody else. Everybody else. So finally, it happened. It did happen. The clouds and thunder and the water came. Can you imagine what it must have been like when people, realizing what had happened, began to bang on the sides of Noah's ark? Noah and his family were inside. In chapter 7 and verse 16, the Bible tells us God locked him in there. In this big boat, there was one window and one door. And God locked him in. And not even Noah could open it. Not even Noah could open it. So the Bible tells us, verse 11, in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. The book says that everything, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died. Yes, it happened. It happened. So why was Noah saved? I find the answer in the text. Genesis chapter 6 and verse 9. Genesis chapter 6 and verse 9. I find the answer embedded there in the text. The text begins, these are the generations of Noah. These are the generations of Noah. Now, if you jump down to the next verse, you'll find that the text continues. Noah begot 3 sons. But sandwiched in between is this little piece of text. Very instructive. It says, Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. 3 little things. They look little and simple. 3. Why was Noah so special? Why was Noah favored? Because he was a just man, because he was perfect, because he walked with God. Let me unpack this and then we'll go to lunch. Noah was a just man. He was a just man. That word just means blameless, or it means having integrity. Having integrity. Another word that can be used to describe what we are talking about here in the text is the word righteous. He was a righteous man. Noah was a man who was constantly doing the right thing. Noah was just being the right person, and so he was righteous. And he was a man of integrity. A word that has been relegated to the back pages of the dictionary. I don't know. I don't know if you realize that, but I have discovered that we live in an age where you can't trust the word of anybody. You can't trust people anymore. And this little 3-letter word, L-I-E. I don't know why adults, big people, mature people, nobody's going to beat you. Nobody is going to do anything to you, send you to prison or something.